If you are just joining us, this is N24 TV, your innovative news, information and entertainment, and you are welcome to yet another edition of The Issues. Like we always do, we invite prominent people to talk about current issues and of course presidential candidates. And today our guest is Babucarr Jeng, who is actually part of the aspirant presidents here in the Gambia. Mr. Jeng, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We all know who Babucarr Jeng is. Bokk na si ñi nga xamantene jamono ji ñu ngi jongante ci sani karta bi nga xamantene mo wara ñew ci ñenti fan ci wéru décembre ci atum 2020. Back to you, Mr. Jeng. Buga nañu xam, we want to know who Babucarr Jeng is.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. My name is Babucarr Jeng. I was born in Banjul in 1979 and brought up in Serekunda and did my education both in Serekunda and later traveled to South Africa, and back. And basically I'm a father, a husband, a son and a grandson.
Amazing.
And a member of the society. And a lover of my country.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So is Babucarr Jeng having a party of his own, or is an independent candidate?
Actually, I'm an independent candidate. Simply because the reason why I joined the race is because I have a philosophy. And my philosophy is synergy. I believe that it's not something that an individual party can do, or an individual candidate can do. I believe, being an independent candidate, give me the leverage, to be able to partner up with anything that's good, which is out there that can take this country to the next level. And being independent would give me the leverage to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so can you talk us through some of the agenda that you've set for your party?
Actually, like I've rightly mentioned, at this point in time, I have a manifesto.
Okay.
And this manifesto is a blueprint of what I want to do, and why I want to do it, and how I'm going to do it.
Okay.
But there are realities that are out there. Sometimes when I sit back and watch my fellow politicians, spilling out their agendas, and when I shift my gaze and look at the realities that is there, which is governance, because to me governance is like a growing thing. It's living.
Yeah.
You might have an agenda today, whilst before the end of the week, a lot of things have changed. Which when you want to place your agenda when you're in office, you might place I don't know how they call it, round peg in a square hole or square hole in a round peg. You might miss things out, because at the end of the day, the government is a set of protocols, run by people, who are there with their expertise, and also human beings at the end of the day, who have circumstances around them, both circumstances at work and circumstances at home. So there are realities that are, out there that I feel, having an agenda is not enough, but having a philosophy, I think, should be the question that the journalists should start asking, what's your philosophy about government and governance? And my philosophy, I will pull you to it, is synergy. I believe that we need to synergize to take the country from the level it is to the next level, because what's there will not work. It was designed that way.
And what's there?
I mean, the system of governance that the colonial master have designed and left for us is not going to work unless.
So that's the same thing that's going on.
History is going to repeat itself, because if you see all governments that have passed in this country, they make promises. They have good intentions, but when they jump into that wagon that they did not design themselves, it was designed for them, they tend to be like robots who are programmed and conditioned to do what the system conditions them to do, regardless of what results it brings back. You know, Einstein say, if you keep doing things that you've always done, you know, thinking that this time it will be different, you are not facing the reality. You know, I think we have repeated things over and over again, and we have encountered failures over and over again. So it's all about blame and victimism. That's why you see finger pointing, you know, everybody trying to point at the president, and the president is trying to run away from responsibility. You know, people pointing at the healthcare sector that, you know, things are not going right, you know. Even if your, you know, roof leaks, you know, they say, oh, it's the president here and there. Not understanding that that world is his own world, you know, run by a bunch of people. It's like a team. You know, today when a team wins, you're not going to say, okay, Messi wins. You're going to say Barcelona wins. Sure. So it's a team right there. And the team, they have a challenge. So this challenge that is down there, I think is a reality that people need to start to understand. It needs synergy. You know, they're interconnected, they're interrelated. You know, the whole government system, it's like marriage. You know, they connect. So, but I feel that there are gaps in between this system of governance that one needs to understand before you come and bring your plans and lay your plans and implement them. So I think my vision and my agenda is the leadership, because the leadership plays a major role. You know, as an aspiring president, my focus is on the leadership, and being a leader and being a manager is two quite different things. You know, the leader has a role to play, and the managers, they have their roles to play. That's why when you go to every department, you'll find a leader and you'll find a manager. The minister is the leader, and the permanent secretary is the manager. It's the technocrat, you know. And leadership is about identifying, putting the wall, and the manager is putting the ladder on the wall so that they will have smooth, you know, how do you call it, activism, you know, within the sectors. That's why all the sectors across the board, nothing seems to work. Even if you pour billions of dollars in their midst, it will not work, because it's not going to flow. Everybody's in your own corner, you know, trying to secure your position.
Is it like they're being selfish?
It's not about selfishness. It's the system that conditions them to think that way. Because the way you think, that is the way you see things. And the way you see things, that's the way you do things. And that's the results you have in return. So it's about every day they wake up in the morning, it's a routine. Go to the office, do one thing that they have always done, and go home, come the next day and do the same thing where they left it. So at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of people hustling, you know, in one arena. It's about survival. It's not about work anymore, you know. And like Wolof say, okay. You know, anybody that hits that place is a jackpot. You know, you start surviving, you know, pushing for travels and having per diems, you know. And the minister's life changes, not what he's giving his mandate. Nothing changes but him and his family and his associates. So there is something wrong somewhere. So my philosophy is not about who is wrong. It's about what is wrong. What is wrong takes you to who and why. So I think the system needs prognosis.
Okay.
So the system bit of a favor.
Like, I'll ask this question. If you're so fortunate to win this coming elections, which is 4th December, the first 90 days, what is the thing that you're going to focus on the first 90 days that you put into office?
If you can totally recall, I think I was on a debate, and this was mentioned, like the first 100 days. You see, if somebody is sick and admitted in the hospital, and there's a certain doctor who attends the patient first, and the doctor is in the morning shift. So when the doctor's shift is finished, there's another doctor who comes in the afternoon shift. Where does he go? He goes straight to the history. You know, there's a file that they put on the bed. He knows where the previous doctor stopped to take the patient from that level to the next level. Right now, there is zero information. Any president that is coming into power, you're going to struggle.
Okay.
You're going to struggle because you will have no information. Because information is power. It shows you where you should it gives you the sense of direction.
Meaning
So
there's nothing in that history book.
yes. So my first 100 days, I will conduct what we call a technical audit.
Okay.
A technical audit. And this technical audit will surface each and every single technicalities that are there in our government system, so that we'll be able to create remedies. You see, if you're sick, you go to the hospital. Well, after prognosis, they give you prescription. Ñaar suba, ñaar bëccëg, ñaar ngoon. The system is sick, and the people that are within the system are sick.
Okay.
At the end of the day, so you should be able to figure out, because they are not just a bunch of carrots that you're just going to come and grab and just pull out of the system. The ones that you're going to bring back, they're going to be the worst. So my first 100 days is technical audit.
Okay.
First of all, to know exactly what I am going to do and how, with whom, and looking for resources, both within and outside, not only financial resources, but technical competence. There are people who have the knowledge, people who have the know-how, and not only knowledge, but the wisdom. Because you're dealing with a mindset that is so...
Would you agree to the suggestion that it's nepotism that's destroying our system? Giving the job to the one you know, not giving it to the deserving one.
Actually, you see, for every problem, there's a root cause. Nepotism is an end product. It's an attitude problem. And problems, they are deep-rooted somewhere that is in our hearts. You see, today, if I am to say what the problem is within the system, I will touch no ism. Everybody have their butts. The reason why somebody jumps into nepotism is probably he has his own issues, probably is partisan. You know, which is real. Today, if you are given a position, you will do nepotism. Everybody has an amount of nepotism in you. It's natural for you to give favors to people who has given you favors, probably in the previous times. So the problem here is patriotism and the fear of Allah. My way of saying things, there is this, my goal is I believe that the key to a healthy nation is to align the social will, the value system, which is religion. Because we are human beings who didn't fall from the tree or grew from the ground. We have a background, and our background, our origin is from Allah, that we have to put at the back of our minds. And we have two major religions, that's Islam and Christianity. And they all have books. That's the reason why if somebody is given power, you swear. But many people that hold that book and swear don't have a clue what that book entails. That is the book from the master of the universe who designed this world and designed us human beings. There's an element of us that we need to realize that is deep inside us. If we're not conscious of self, there is no way that we can handle any post. Because if you fear Allah, if you fear God, you will do things right without fear or favor. And if you're conscious of Hisab, that you're going to be asked on the day of judgment about your position, and there is this hadith of the Prophet, kullukum ra'i wa kullukum mas'ulatun an ra'iyat, is mas'uliyah, which I think each and every one that goes into governance should be conscious about, because this is a Muslim country. 95% of the people are Muslims, and even in Christianity, integrity is something that one has to practice. Honesty and integrity is everywhere. Even the atheists, they practice honesty and integrity. You know, much more than somebody that has religion. So I think there's a whole lot of things that we need to look at. We need to diversify. We need to broaden the horizon of our perspectives to be able to grasp exactly a solution, not the solution. There is no solution, but there is a solution that when we broaden our horizon of the way we think, and at the end of the day, I don't see you as an enemy or as a competitor. We are in the same office, and our goal and aim is to make it work. And as citizens, what exactly is our responsibility to make our governance a proper one? Because governments come and go.
Sure.
But governance is always there. The president comes and goes, but the presidency is always there. So it's our duty as citizens to synergize, to connect, to relate, to identify and associate and make our country work. Otherwise, we'll have a bunch of thieves who are going to make business of this gap, because there's a gap between governance and community.
Okay.
The community is at sleep, and government and governance is doing their own thing. But if we have our eyes and our ears and we are conscious and we read and we educate ourselves, educate our minds and our emotions to what exactly is around us, I think we will have good governance.
Definitely. I guess that will come to mass education. But then it's N24 TV, innovative news, information and entertainment. Just stop it right there. We'll go on a break and then we'll be right back. Thank you for joining us and welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just joining us, this is N24 TV, your innovative news, information and entertainment. And of course, you're welcome to yet another edition of the issues. And like I said before we went on that break, we have an aspirant candidate here as a guest who is Babucarr Jeng. Di leen jaajëfal rek yéen ñi nga xamante ne yéen a ñu nekk di seetaan ci N24 TV, your innovative news, information and entertainment. Xam ngeen ni ko defee rek saa yu nekk am fii ñi nga xamante ne i ndaanaan lañ saka ñi nga xamante ne sax ñu ngi war a bokk si jongante bi nga xamante ne moo war a ñëw ci ñeenti fan ci weeru décembre ci at bi ñu nekk. Ba tax nag tey ñu am fii ki nga xam ne moo nekk Babucarr Jeng. Dinañ delluwaat rek ci waxtaan bi su ñëwee ci li nga xamante ne wax nañ ne nag am nañ fii more than 20 political parties bari nañ macha allah te nga bokk si ñoom ñu nar a jëngante te xam nañ ne nag kenn rek a fa mun a nekk waaye ba tey ñu xam ne li nga xamante ne yëpp dinañ ko wax. Dinañ wax ne loolu la ñooy def su fekkee ne ñoom jël nañ nguur dinañ wax ne bokk na si su ñëwee lu the first thing lu ñoo def moo nekk ñu invest si wàllum agriculture bi parce que xam nañ ne ci jamono buñ toll nii dundin bi seer na maalo bi kenn waxatut ko ba tax ñu ne ñoom ñu bëri da wax nañ ci wàllum agriculture bi ndax yow di nga def something different li nga xamante ne ñoom nekkuñ di ko wax.
boo seetloo gis nga bala nga ñëw di dige loo xamante ni ëllëg si biir da ngaa dugg ci tooxi doona baax na li nga dige nga xam ko waaw tey soo seetloo as we sit something is going on nguur luy dox la te boo seetloo tey mbirum mbéy dafa doon loo xam ne dafa toll ci niveau boo xam ne dafa mel ni interest bi dafa drop parce que ñun ñaar duñ dem béy te ñu nekk ci kaw gi fu mu nekk nii because ñun dem nañ ci kaw gi di waxtaan ak nit ñi doo fa fekk koo xamante ni ndaw la ko am kàttan am na benn jigéen moo doon waxtaanal moom laay fam dafa béy maalo waaye dafa am high blood mu ne one time la dem sëga mënut a sëga ci faro bi ngir xeltam may ko ko so which means that phase is dying, the interest is not there, the younger generation is not interested in farming. Waaye tamit soo xoolee wàllum mbéy ñun Gambie lépp lu ñoo lekk dañ ko dee import maalo bi da dee ñëw waaye soo xoolee ñun depuis kañ lañ commencé di import maalo bi léegi ndax ki nga xam ne dafa ñëw toog mu dig population bi ne moom su toogee dina make sure ne mbéy mi dina jur loo xam ne ñun dañ cee mën a dunda loolu noonu dafa jàpput boppa is not accurate defut maatam well because at the end of the day yow kañ ngaa mën a toog ba jox nit ñi that interest pour ñu mën a def dara si mbéy mi loo ci dugal loo ci munti dugal ci xaalis dafa am ñuy béy du noonu so yooyu ay dugg ci système bi nga xool nga seet mbéy mi ñu ci nekk ñu ci am interest nga dooleel leen because ñoom foofu lañ jee survive it's like a profession nga jàppale leen ci loolu waaye pour ne mbéy dafa mun a feed this country man gisuma ko léegi it's not something that's gonna happen now so man suma focus mooy there is this book I read it's called The Power of Now.
Okay.
Right now what lan lañ soxla pour nit ñi ñu yombalal leen loo xamante ni dafa mun a am yomba pour ñu mën a am loo xam ne dañ koo def seen poos buñ indee fii maalo bi mën a yomba te lii import la te importation ni mu fa dee demee mooy affaire bi daf dee jógee ko ci biti marchandise yu jógee ko ci biti yëpp dañ ko dee jënda ci biti buñ ko jëndee businessman yaa ko jënda indi ko ci réew mi buñ ko indee ci réew mi ci port bi laa jaar so government li ñoo mën a def mooy ñu teggi tax wala ñu oyofal tax ci lépp loo xam ne dañ koo lekk lépp loo xam ne dañ koo fajoo tax bi dañ ko war a yombal mu oyof ci ko businessman bi then businessman bi mun a yërëm ñoo xam ne ñoom ñooy consumers yi because chain la da nga am ñoo xam ne ñoom ñooy indi that is the suppliers then nga am the wholesalers then nga am the retailers yi bala moo àgga ci ñoom affaire yi daf dee jaar fu bari moo tax price yi dee teglante so price bi bu demee ba high at the end of the day the layman koo xamante ni moom xëj na salaire am demeewul noonu kooku dafa am jafe-jafe so government li ñu mën a def mooy as a government man su ma duggoon lu ma njëkk a def mooy dama focus PPP like public private partnership ma look at the private sector ma create a board or ma create a team you see there's this word creativity there's two words in creativity mooy create activities as a leader you have to be innovative as a leader you have to be a great thinker you have to think outside the box as a leader you are for the people yow pour nit ñi nga lépp loo xam ne dafa soxali nit ñi yow loolu moo war a nekk sa drive te gis nga boo demee ba toog ba def nit ñi sa xalaat nga def nit ñi sa drive at the end of the day yow da nga dee mun a xalaat loo xam ne dafa mun a soxali nit ñi tey soo seetloo maalo buy dugg ci réew mi yépp buñ ko jëloon ñu ne ok léegi képp kuy indi maalo fii zéro taxe duñ la taxe dara suñ laa taxe tamit dañoo taxe sa profit at the end of the day because sooy def business ci réew di jël war ngaa mun a delloo dara ci réew waaye looy delloo ci réew waruta doon loo xamante ni buy waaj a ñëw si da nga dee am heart attack businessman ñaari mbir la ragal mooy dee ak taxe dee da nga ko mën a dee doo ko mën a dooj waaye taxe moom gaa dañ ko mën a dooj foofu noonu la njub la nga dee ñëwee moo tax da technical audit bi ma la doon wax bu loolu demee ba dugga mboolem loo xam ne dafa dëng dafa jub because at the end of the day soo xamee ne ok man lépp lu ma laal dinañ ko yëg by shifting from physically handling cash to digitally handling the cash ñu ngi fi am communication companies Afrisalang fii and we have IT companies that are here and we can borrow like I say we can borrow technical assistance not only financial assistance to come and look at our system. The problem is the system because there are two robots interacting with each other. The human being is like a robot. We are organic robots. And the system is a robot that is a monster that is there. It either turns you into a criminal or mu turn you into a good Samaritan. So yow mi ñëw di handle that system yow yaa war a defaru to such an extent boo ñëwee ba rofu ci system bi you make the system work. And government has a major role to play. President bi la am di cabinet nga am di policy makers. Waaw so ñetti team yi nii dafa important waaye ñetti team yi bu ci politique nekkee and we have different political parties with their different agendas réew mi soxalu leen putuñ Gambia first jiitaluñu réew luy xew mooy képp ku nekk dafa bugg a waaxi teg sa kanam waaw dafa daxee jëmale ci kanamam moo tax da ngaa gis little issues they will fight over it in parliament like children dafa mel ni ay xale yoo xam ne da ngaa jël minti rek sànni ko seen biir boo ko sànni seen biir dañoo tojante boppa su dee 5 xale la 5 minti képp di nga gis xale boo xam ne dafa bugg a jël ñetta that's the way it is and we have a problem and definitely we have a problem and I think comme li nga wax nii the reality is pour ñu am économie bu dox foog government play seen part private sector will play seen part because saa yuñ xëy yow salary moo la fi teg yow bu doon yow ñëwuloo fii pour ut loo dugal sa poche dem dunda doo fi ñëw waaye tamit ki la employ tamit dafa am tax yoo xam ne bu xebee si kawam du la fay wel so government should look at all the sectors that are employing young Gambians and bring them together ñu jaaraamal leen jaajëfal leen nit ku def lu baax mais ma daaneel dafa important nit ku def lu baax da nga koo jaajëfal waaw lii solution la boo xam ne boo leen indee nga teg leen nga ne ah gis naa ni daal yéen a ngay def nangam sangam jantuma jaar ñaata employé nga employé ci ay Gambian ok man de am naa 100 employees ok yow de macha allah léegi ni ñoo def mooy jox naa la 1 year tax incentive yoo xam ne da ngaa liggéey te duma la laaj dara ci taxe waaye charte bi mooy employeur moo Gambien li nga am nga enhance ko jàppale leen ñu yokk seen xam-xam yokk seen xereñ that's how you empower youth because man baati youth empowerment baat bu yàqu la before you empower the youth you have to involve them you have to know their level of knowledge their level of power lu ko mooy lii xew mooy in the name of youth empowerment you will tap fond bi su ñëwee dañ koo jos pàccoo rek ñoom ne ñu lekkante ko because loolu lañ fi gis tey the youth are vulnerable and they are suffering the people are suffering comme lu mel ni rent for instance luwaas moo gën a nekk issue fii ñun ñëpp a nekk di rent man mi toog di wax yow nii maa ngi rent suma rent bi is almost $240,000 per annum and there is no sort of intervention boo xamante ni xëj na the state takes when it comes to regulations so man maa ngi am a programme within my programs I have LTA landlord tenant association boo xamante ni mboolem tenant mboolem kuy luwaas ak mboolem landlord war nañoo mën a toog ñu waxtaan suñ demee ba waxtaan landlord bi na wax constituent am ne ok man de dama tabax te tabax dafa seer nga wàññi building material mboolem luy tabax luy dugg ci réew bi lu tuuti as daaj duñ ko tax everything that has to do with building materials tax free
okay
for a period of time bañ soxaleku gis nga nit bu duggee ci biir buy lab ci biir géej angale mu ne dañ ko defal cardio pulmonary resuscitation dañoo bës dënn bi pour ndox li génn mu mun a nokkeegum ñun dañ naan ndox bu bëri ñun dañ soxla ko bësuñ dënn yi ndox bi génn ñu mun a nokki mun a xam fuñ ne ñun ñëpp a lab fu mu nekk nii dëkk bi kenn mënu laa wax ni mu mel the crime rate is getting higher every day am nga marriages are being broken te man sëy yu dee tas di yëpp dama ko relate to economic problem tey jëkkër boo xamante ni mu ngi génn di xosi di dara mun ta dugg ci ba ko dafa naxari deret jabaram ak lu munti rafet bu ko smile lee xolam bi tànga soo luy xew mooy kër yi dañoo tas mbeedam bi tas problème yi bëri dëkk bi jaxasoo and luy xew mooy ñun mbokki politiciens yi ñun ñoo war a ragal yàlla képp ku nekkaa ngee joxoñ moromam di ko demonize just to paint himself with a bright picture. Let us just get out there and salvate the people. We educate the minds of the people. ñu jàngal nit ñi ñu soxali leen ñu dalal nit ñi that's a good politician. waaw waaye level bi fuñ toll nii.
nit yu bari nga laajte leen ñu ne politician si de ku nekk sa interest moo ko fi teg waaye ba tey yaa ngi laal si ndaw ñi am na dégg na ci politician bi wax ne dafa create 1000 jobs or more than that pour ndaw ñi pour wax na ne nag moom su toogee ndaw ñi nekk fii nii yëpp si dëkk bi dinañ am liggéey waaye yow si wàllum youth si lan plans what plans do you have for the youths?
Comme ni ma ko waxee rek and ñun politicians dañ war a oy to these type of platforms. We cannot sweet talk people. Once you get in there as a government, you have a ministry responsible for youth and sports. How are you going to create 1,000 jobs or more? Creating jobs has to be matched with the people that you're creating the jobs for. The environment has to be there. You don't just pick up jobs and give them like that. Where are they? Where are the jobs? You don't have industries that you're going to employ this youth. But all you need to do is to break it down. I have a program called YIP, Youth Involvement Program.
Okay.
Which I'm trying to create like a skills bank and a skills factory. All we need to do is just to get in.
Okay.
I have an association running with my wife. It's called Single Mother Scheme. And Single Mother Scheme, what we do is we tap into them. There's this book called Upheaval, How Nations Deal with Change and Crisis. If you want to solve a problem, you need to build a fence around the problem. Yow tey ndaw yi nga indi. Yeah. Tey yow ndaw yi nga indi yëpp nga ne leen naa jox liggéey. Ban façon liggéey nga leen naa jox ndax bëgg nañ ko. Gis nañ fi President's Award Scheme. soo duggee ci biir society bi yaa ngi fekk ñoo xam ne dem nañ GTTI am nañ seen certificate. I go to the ghetto and find them bilaay man bro bilaay man moom bilaay. Yeah exactly te soo ko laajee ok mu def na electric installation. nga laaj ko ndax digga moom bëgg na lu ne bilaay naa suma maire bi booy moo ma nekk di gitel pour ma jéem a def dara. dañ ko def rek pour def dara you don't dig into the person. Everybody have a talent. Marry that talent with a skill so that the guy will be passionate in what he does. You have to love what you do. You love what you do. That's the reason why you're sitting here.
Sure.
And yow ku la bëgg a empower ni moo def mooy daf la expose to what you do and take you to the next level. And you can never do that unless and until you identify where they are and you associate with them and you syndicate. Tey man du ma war a jël koo xamante ni moom sabar moom mooy profession am ma boole ko yow mi nga xam ne journalism mooy sa profession ma dugal leen ci benn killa doo leen dem. So all you need to do is just to get like-minded people. Liggéey la te liggéey bi naka laa yombee we need to have a database. Tey soo demee si Ministry of Youth soo demee ci Department of Youth and Sports there is not a single database boo xam ne dañ la ko mën a tegal loo xam ne blueprint la from Kartong to Koyna mboolem ndaw buy màgg ci réew bi. There's these statistics that make me really scared. You see in Africa 29 million youth are ready to receive a job annually. 29 million youth annually in Africa ñoo dee pare pour liggéey like ready age prepared after school. All those 29 million when you come to Gambia ñaata youth ñoom ñoo dee wàcc school pare fii pour liggéey waaye fan la ñu liggéey. The education system doesn't provide them that skill or that wherewithal or that know-how to be able to go and grab a job. What are they going to do? Foog gaay dem def course moo tax ngay gis these computer classes ñu dañ dem def course sangam nangam suñ paree dañoo toog waaru duñ am liggéey. All they do is go around. So man now what I see is you see them sol seen jean yu tight sol t-shirt yi real estate agency di wër di market and they're not only marketing products, they are even marketing themselves at the end of the day because that's the only option at the end of the day. So there's this level of frustration going on around because of people are not looking deep into the issues of the youth. So man li ma njëkk a def mooy the ministry bi moom laa njëkk a break. I'll break the ministry down. I'll separate the ministry. The youth dafa nekk ministry boppam. Sports nekk ministry boppam.
Instead of
youth and sports. Dafa heavy. They are two complicated issues yoo xamante ni dafa conflict. Because youth matters dafa nekk loo xamante ni is very delicate because they're the cream of society. That's the reason why all we have is like bad products at the end of the day. Fan nga xamee ne bad products la su ñoo graduate di nga gis ñu dog seen sipa yi xarat seen bu bay sign just and nga gis boy fële de la yuutal mandi you see them like what's going on. You see in my programs I'll start tapping into their lives from grade 11. Part of the curriculums I'll have an after school program boo xamante ni from grade 12 you will get them into something. Straight dafa nekk loo xamante ni compulsory laa nekk from grade 12 duñ dem di taxawaalu because jeexal school doesn't mean that learning is over. ñeena ñoo xam ne suñ jeexalee school xalaas pare na ci de duñ defati dara because jeexal nañ school kenn du ko jeexal.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is N24 TV, your innovative news, information and entertainment. Ngeen xam ne nag Babucarr Jeng nañ fi amu bokk si ñi nga xamante ne jamono ji ñi ngi jongante ci toogu boobu di toogu nguur. Waaye ba tey last question balaa ñu laa bàyyi ñu xam ne ci bile jamono dinaa wax ne social media mu ngi mel ni luy contrôle réew mi. Nga dugga fa li ngay dégg saa yu nekk moo nekk saaga yi di bully especially tribal issues when it comes to politics Gambia. Lan mooy sa stand on that?
Man suma stand dëkk bu ñàkk kilifa nga jégal mi suma kàddu de dëkk bu ñàkk kilifa lii moo ko dee firndeel kilifa yi nañ jóg ñu wax ak nit ñi kilifa diine kilifa aada yi nañ génn waxtaan ak askan bi. Social media is a mess. Man du ma dee dugg Facebook de because am fa interest. Because to me I see it as a waste of time. Lan laa faa wax kan laa faa waxal xeebuma kenn ku fa nekk de xeebuma dara luñ faa wax de waaye there's a lot of work to be done than me sitting down and spending time. Man, I read almost 8 hours a day. I have a family to take care of. I have a wife. I have children. I'm a father at the same time. And I'm a member of my community. So gis nga ku dem social media di saaga bu leen ko blame. Wow. He has an enormous amount of something, but not intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to go there, but he has a tremendous amount of something, but not intelligence. Nit ku wér, ku ñor, ku am xam-xam, du toog di saaga, wala du toog di ŋàñña wala du toog sa di joxoñ nit. So at the end of the day, this is how you gauge people's mentality. It's the mindset of the people. The mindset of the people need to change for us to have a good society. And when it comes to tribalism, man dama gis ne rek nit ñi dañ ko day use in a sense ne xëj na amuñ luñ wax nit ñi. If you don't have what to give, definitely you will look at what's available and you give it. So man dama gis ne is something that is available in their hands. That's the reason why they give it. But ko am policies and programs, ko am lu mu waxtaan ak askan bi, kooku du fa dem naan ok dañ war a vote based on tribe, kooku dafa ñëw ne dañ war a vote based on programs and policies, dañ war a vote based on philosophy, dañ war a vote based on Gambia lan moo ñoo soxali, putting country first. Wow. So the question of social media and all this thing that is going on, I think there should be some amount of regulation.
Okay.
There should be an iron fist when it comes to these things. Media has to be regulated. Gambia regular is the media and regulation.
It's just
people are just free to just jump in and do anything. Wow. Joke saga nit ndey wala saga ko bay wax ko lu ko nahari at the end of the day. And nit ñi dañuy faté né kérok yomal qiyam dafa am xana. Te social media daf dé dencha. Xam nga ñaata nit ñoo wax bad social media tay ñu ci ron suuf ci. We think we're going to live in this world forever? No, we are not. We will die and we will be resurrected. And every religion believes in resurrection. And all these people that are shouting on Facebook or social media, they are Muslims and Christians. And mostly Muslims. If they die, they will be answerable. So balanga ubi gaming. Gis nga gaming. Lamiñ bo gisé mu délicate, tuñ la ñaari boñ, vera lamiñ. Balanga fa aga dafa am too much security. So balanga ubi sa gaming bi di ci génné cadeau. Lo wara xalaataat la. Gis nga anglais mu ne we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them proportionately. You have to listen more than you speak. And empty barrels make more sounds. People that are empty, these are the ones that are just shouting out there. Excuse my language.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is N24 TV, your innovative news, information and entertainment. Di leen wax ne rek waxtu bi daf ñu jaamu ñu amoon fi ki nga xam ne moo nekk Babucarr Jeng mu nekk an aspirant candidate. Waaye balaa ñoo dem waxoon naa last question waaye ba tey rek what is your message to ñi nga xamante ne ñoo la ñoo nekk sa gannaaw ak tamit are you really sure that you'll make it this election?
Actually, I'm not in it to win elections. I'm in it to win the hearts and the minds of the people because I'm being a gumbo is deep rooted in my heart. Nguur Yàlla ko joxe. Because Allah says, "Qul Allahumma malikal mulk, wa tu'til mulka man tasha, wa tanzi'ul mulka mimman tasha, wa tu'izzu man tasha, wa tudhillu man tasha, biyadikal khair, biyadikal khair." In the hands of Allah is every khair. So man nekkuma di ut carte ci nit ñi. I just want to inspire. I want to educate. Man fi ma utee nguur mooy ci loxo Yàlla moo tax ma jóg samp suma ndënd am yaakaar bu rëy ci Yàlla nag waaw even if I am followed by 10 people but those 10 people should have quality. They should benefit. I should inspire them. I should change their lives. I should take them from one level to the other. So man li ma wax askan bi rek surtout ñoo xamante ñoom lay àndal elections nekkut yëfi xëccoo yëfi xuloo yëfi ŋaayoo nañ ci ànd ak dal yow soo demee war a toog am na koo xam ne dama ko fekk muy taxaw groupe bi way di waxtaan di leen wax a politicien so affaire bi mu tànga diggante ma ñoom ma ne ko yow bu leen wax individual bi waxal gaay individual bi li mu am lan la am pour jox leen so li ma wax mooy nañ góorgóorlu buñ werante waxal ne di man suma candidat bi nangam ak sangam la am fii ak fii la bëgg a yóbbu Gambia xalaas amul saaga amul xuloo ku ma saaga man santuma kenn mu fayekul ma ku gënti mbindeef lañ saaga mooy di Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam ku gënti mbindeef lañ attaque mooy Jesus. They wanted to crucify him. So at the end of the day, who are we? Anybody that stands for the truth, remember, the truth is like a lion. Just let it loose. it will defend itself.
Thank you so much. Yéen ñi nga xamante ne nag ngeen seetaan we've come to the end. Comme ni mu ko waxee rek nañu Gambia ñor, let Gambia come at first, and let's also look at the things that they have for us. Nañ xool lan lañ ñu amal. Kii président la wala kii mu ngi bëgg a nekk président mu ngi bokk suñu ñuy jàngante. Nañ xool seen manifesto si ak lan lañ wax ne suñ taxawee dinañ ko def ñu bàyyi tribalism yi ak suma mbokk la wala lii dafa nekk li nga xamante ne du yóbbu réew kanam waaye rek di leen jaajëfal bu baax a baax si seen seetaan bu rafet di leen wax ne rek mën ngeen a subscribe si suñu YouTube channel bi as N24 radio and television, and on Facebook as Nexus 24 as in NEXUS. Follow and like our page. Until then, jërë ngeen jëf.